the Mapleview Animal Hospital studios, this is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Thursday, March the 4th. Thursday mornings, we have a chance to find out what's going on in downtown Holland. Travel and tourism as well. We call the segment Destination Downtown. It's presented by the Windmill Restaurant. We are joined, as we are most Thursday mornings, by the Executive Director of the Holland Area Visitors Bureau, Linda Hart. She joins us via the Zoom connection. Linda, good morning and welcome back to WHTC.
Good morning. How are you, Gary?
We are well, and hopefully all is well with the Bureau. And it is Girlfriends Weekend. A lot of ladies in town this weekend, I see.
Yes. It kicks off tomorrow. It's so interesting how quickly our events are coming up and how quickly the months are just flying by. But yeah, so Girlfriends Weekend kicks off tomorrow. We capped it at 350 prior to the announcement with the governor and the loosening of restrictions. We did have a wait list, which they were able to extend. So we will have a full 375 ladies in our downtown. The Courtyard is sponsoring them. So you will see a lot of ladies shopping and dining because that's what they love to do this weekend. So it's great to see an event and see so much infusion into the downtown again.
A lot of excitement in that regard. And Tuesday's announcement by Governor Whitmer relaxing some of the health restrictions on restaurants and taverns. It's almost as if, and the Holland Public Principal Shopping District met today, the board that is, it's almost as if, okay, we have new rules in place. We got to start rejuggling and rejiggling things, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's interesting because a couple of the restaurants, some of the larger restaurants at like New Holland, at their previous capacity of 25%, they could go to 100, which is the cap. But with the new restrictions, they can still only stay at 100 because that is the cap. But, other places like Big Lake Brewing, they can, get close to 100. What's interesting about some of the restaurants is because of, the large ability or so many of these restaurants that do takeout, it's hard for them to increase capacity because their takeout business is so strong. So it's kind of a juggle right now. We're in this period of flux of, until you get staffed up, because a lot of restaurants, everybody, even, we heard it on the sponsor for the Windmill restaurant is, hiring, bringing these people back in the door so that, not only they can take care of the dining restaurant guests, but also support that takeout because takeout really has taken a strong hold.
Now, earlier this week, Gwen Awerta from the Tulip Time Festival, the executive director, announced that some more activities are on tap, but still it'll be a little bit more of a limited Tulip Time Festival, the 91st renewal of Holland's annual signature event. And certainly that has become a very much of an exciting thing in terms of getting things together. The downtown aspect of it and the overall Holland aspect of it with Tulip Time on the way on May 1.
Yeah, so, it's so interesting, the press release went out and it was like, 6 hours later, then, everything changed. And you talk about regrouping, at this point, any event that was off the table completely is now an opportunity or a potential to be back on the table. So, it's exciting to think that we could do so much more, but then, we have such a short window to try to execute it. So that's what we're going to be working on in the next week to see what we can do. Everything needs to be reviewed and approved by the health department. So, that's the task for the next 10 days to see what we can do, what procedures are in place, because they want to know everything to make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. And hopefully we'll get approval on some of the additional events that we want to have. And then Tulip Time will put out another press release. But it's kind of exciting. It's kind of nervousy.
Now, one final thing as we are enjoying, we'll say a preview of coming attractions weather-wise. Yes, it's March. We can definitely have spring fever now. When you don't have spring fever in February, you have it in March. However, with that comes, some of the things that come out in the spring. Tulips, hopefully not too soon, but other things as well, including the Big Oz book to go on at Centennial Park across basically kitty corner from the statue. Where are we on that book right now?
Well, it's interesting. When we got the book, it had a life cycle with the soil for 3 years. Well, what the Parks Department has realized, and we kind of saw this a little bit after year one. So when a structure like that goes in a greenhouse, it's very controlled environment, and then you put it outside, and then it's because it's got its own irrigation system. But then when you have a natural rainfall, we had a lot of rain that first year, and so top of the book got really wet, bottom of the book got really dry. So what they decided to do, instead of wait for that 3 years to pull out all the soil, they did that this year. So they pulled out all the growing fabric, all the soil, and they redid the irrigation so that it could be more effective, knowing that when it's outside and it gets a lot of rain from natural rain and watering, that it's just more controlled. Because, as a living thing, just imagine, your own plants at home. They can go just crazy. And that book constantly needs to be trimmed also, because that's the variety of those plants to grow and expand. And sometimes you want to grow this way, you don't want to grow out and then hang down. So, but it's exciting. So they are working on the book, and it's just neat the way the whole process works to get that behind the scenes.
Indeed, it is. Linda Hart, she is the executive director of the Holland Area Visitors Bureau, joins us Thursday mornings, talk about what's going on with her department, with her bureau, and also with downtown, with Destination Downtown, presented by the Windmill Restaurant. Linda, thank you very much. And if all goes well, let's do this again next Thursday morning.
Sounds great. Bye, Gary.
Thank you very much, Linda Hart, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.